Today we will be doing adaptation in animals. Like plants, animals also show many adaptations according to their habitat, which increase the chances of survival. Adaptations in aquatic animals. Fish. Aquatic animals, such as fish, are adapted in such a way that they can easily swim in water, capture food, breathe, and reproduce. Their body is streamlined to offer the least resistance to water and thus help in swimming. So if you see the shape of the fish, it is narrow towards the end and broad towards the center. So this type of structure is known as streamlined, and their body is streamlined because it offers least resistance to water while swimming. So they can easily swim in water because of their streamlined body. Their body is covered with mucus and waterproof scales to prevent them from decaying. So we know all fishes are covered with scales and they also have a mucus covering on them. So this prevents them from decaying. They respire through gills using oxygen dissolved in water. So they have special type of organs known as gills to breathe in water. And how do they breathe? They utilize oxygen that is present in water. We all know fishes have fins on their bodies to swim. The tail fin, it acts as a rudder, okay, like airplanes have a rudder. Similarly, the tail fin of a fish acts as a rudder which helps it to change directions while swimming. And they do not have any hair, they do not have any sweat glands or oil glands, okay. And some fish, they have air bladder to help them in buoyancy, that means which helps them to float or swim in water. Adaptations in terrestrial animals. Animals that live on land are called terrestrial animals. Now, different animals live in different habitats, so depending on that, they have different adaptations. All terrestrial animals have pentadactyl claws for walking and running. Penta meaning five, dactyl meaning digits or fingers or claws. They show bipedal locomotion. Bipedal means meaning two, pedal meaning leg. So all terrestrial animals have two pairs of legs for walking and running. Now, in case of animals such as rats, moles, snakes, rabbit, since they burrow and live inside the burrow, the head is modified for burrowing and digging. That means the head is very small, tapering, and they have a long snout. In case of tiger, deer, where they have to run, walk, the body muscles are well developed, and the respiratory organ for all terrestrial animals is lungs. That means they breathe through the lungs. Now, adaptation in desert animals, that is camel. Desert animals are adapted to help them live in extremely hot weather and in scarcity of water. The camel is a desert animal. It is well developed or adapted to live in a desert. It can cover 100 kilometers in a day and go without food and water up to 10 days at a stretch. This is why it is often called the ship of the desert. Now we come to the different adaptations that you can see in a camel. A camel can drink a very large quantity of water at a time. It sweats very little. This helps to conserve water. It excretes very little water in the form of urine. Their feces also contains very little water. This is also to conserve or save water. Its breathing rhythm is very slow. Therefore, it loses very little amount of water while breathing. And it has a hump on its back in which food is stored in the form of fat. It can utilize this stored food and can live without food for 10 days at a stretch. Adaptations in mountain animals, the mountain goat. The mountains have very low temperature, sometimes below 0 degrees Celsius. Mountains may also be clad with snow in summers. Therefore, plants and animals in the mountains are adapted to live in extreme cold weather. Animals such as mountain goats show the following adaptations. Their body is covered with thick skin or fur to protect them from cold. They also have a thick layer of fat under the skin for insulation and protection from cold. Mountain goats have strong hooves that help them to climb the rocky slopes of mountains. They have very small ears and noses to reduce heat loss from the body. So they have very small ears and nose, which also reduces the loss of heat from their body. Adaptations in aerial animals. Animals that can fly in the air, such as birds and bats, are called aerial animals. They are adapted for an aerial mode of life. Like fish, their body is also streamlined. This shape provides little resistance while they are flying. The forelimbs are modified into wings, and the hind limbs are slightly shifted forward to balance the body. They have flight muscles which provide strength to them while flying. The bones are hollow, that means there is no bone marrow present inside the bones to make the body light. And the lungs, they are provided with balloon like air sacs which helps them to breathe while flying and also makes the body light. So today we discussed about adaptations in fish, terrestrial animals, camel, mountain goat and birds. Thank you everyone.